Hello. I am back. I haven't been feeling the best. So been pretty ill for the last few weeks. But anyways, without further ado, enough excuses. Let's get into my ranking AFL trade period. Now we're going to be ranking teams. Now, I'm going to be using my phone for this because I don't really know on the top of my head. Alright, so let's go with Adelaide first. Now, Adelaide got Chris Burgess and they got rid of Tom Doedee and Shane McAdam. Now, we are going to say C because Tom Doedee is a big loss. Probably not so much Shane McAdam, but yeah, they bring in Chris Burgess. And the draft picks, they have 10, 14, 20, and 89. Alright, so the next one is Brisbane. Now, Brisbane, they've got to go in at least A, because they brought in Brandon Ryan, and Tom Doedee. They got rid of Tom Fullerton and Jack Gunston to Hawthorn. And they've brought in pick 30, 39, 51, 54, 67, and 97. So, decent picks they've got for him. I think there's a couple father and son players for Brisbane coming up, so they might need to trade a few to get some extra points. I don't really know how that works the best, but yeah. Alright, so we've got Carlton next. Now, I'm gonna have to put them in C. They got rid of Zach Fisher and Paddy Dow one to St Kilda, and I'm pretty sure the other one to, pretty sure St Kilda and, if I'm not mistaken, Melbourne? No, not Melbourne. To, I don't know, maybe Bulldogs. We'll go with that. So, yeah. So, they draft picks, they've got 22, 28, 70, 78, and 96. They've got a few decent picks. Alright, so the next one is Collingwood. Now, Collingwood at least have to be at least B. I'm going to put them in B because they got rid of Jack Ginnivan to Hawthorn and Taylor Adams to Sydney. But they brought in Lockie Schultz and they have draft picks 19, 33, 80, and 98. Alright. So the next one, Essendon. It's weird seeing Essendon at the top or something because I haven't seen that really before. Alright, so they brought in Xavier Dersma, Jade Gresham, Todd Goldstein, and Ben Mackay. They got rid of they brought in the Hawthorn guy, the Essendon guy who left to Hawthorn. Massimo. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sounds Italian. And then they got rid of... Really? And they brought in Brandon... And they got rid of Brandon's picks 9, 31, 35, 61, and 88. Alright. So Fremantle had nobody arrive. So I'm going to put them in... Probably a bit harsh. But I'm going to put them in F because they got rid of Joel Hamling, Liam Henry, and Lockie Schultz. So I reckon they could go even lower if, they don't get a few players in the rookie draft but they've got a few decent picks so they can get some talent from WA. They've got picks 34, 46, 60, 64, 85. Alright, so I'm going to have to put them in E, harsh, but when you get rid of Radaglia, we did get some decent picks for him. But at the same time, we didn't get any players for him. So, is what it is, though. We got some decent draft picks. We got picks 25, 76, and 94 from Port Adelaide. But we have 8 and 87 as well. So, decent. We didn't get rid of any other players. So, Radaglia might be a big loss, especially with our depth, but we'll see what happens. So, we have Gold Coast. I'm putting Gold Coast straight into F. They got rid of Elijah Hollands, who now has possibly a drug thing, so maybe that's not a bad thing for Gold Coast, but at the same time, that's allegedly, so I don't get sued. Alright, so they got rid of maybe a Chol and Chris Burgess. Honestly, I've never really heard of him, so not really big loss. Heard the other two though. So they've got picks 24, 26, 27, 32, 36, 38, 66, 71, 74, and 84. So they've got I think they've got about 10 draft picks, which probably a couple they'll trade away to get some extra points, especially for their academy up there in Gold Coast. So the next one we've got is GWS. I'm going to put them in D because Matthew Flynn isn't really a big loss for GWS, but he goes to West Coast, I think. Yeah, he does. So they've got picks 7, 16, 43, 59, 77, 79, and 95. So some decent, especially with the academy players coming through. All right, so we got Hawthorn next. Now, I will have to say they're up there. I feel like they did better than... Alright, so they have gotten rid of Tyler Brockman, Jacob Kosicki, and Brandon Ryan. So, a couple of them are depth losses, but with the players they brought in, I don't think they're going to be a big loss. So, they've got Jack Ginnivan. He grew up barracking for Hawthorn, and I really don't have a problem with it. It's funny, Collingwood fans are happy, or some of them are not, but some of them, say a great fall for him. But then, it's pretty much the same thing as Ollie Henry wanting to play for Geelong and wanting to go to a club he supported and barracked for. And yeah, except for one has a premiership. Undeservedly, but, once you get a premiership medal, that means absolutely nothing. You cherish that. So, yeah, Jack Gunston comes back for a year. Questionable move, but at the same time, I understand the reasons, because of family. He wanted to come back, so, family's important. So, they also got Mabia Chol and Massimo D'Ambrosio. Yeah, that's the best pronunciation I'll have. So, they got draft picks 4, 44, 47, 49, 61, 62, 63, and 83. So, decent draft pick. Maybe they can get some talent and put them in Box Hill for a little while. Alright, so now we have Melbourne. D. Harsh, but fair. They got rid of James Jordan, who's a winger, and they got rid of James Harms, big loss, and they got rid of Brody Grundy after a year. I just don't understand Melbourne. I think their arrogance and cockiness is just absolutely gone bananas here. Big call. They could actually not make the 8 next year. That's a massive call. They've just got some arrogance and problems about them at the moment. Probably like Geelong, but we had a lot of injuries though. So they got Jack Billings, Tom Fullerton, and Shane McAdam, and with their draft picks 6, 11, 42, and 93. So they've got a few decent picks. They have 2 in the top 15, so that's pretty handy, especially because there is a lot of talent. All right, so North Melbourne now. Let's have a look. Now North Melbourne. I'm gonna put them in B, but they did lose... I have to put them in C. They lost Ben Mackay, who's a quality backman, and they got rid of their absolute legend, Todd Goldstein. Now, sucked to lose 2 of those players, and they both went to Essendon. So, yeah. And so they got brought in Dylan Stevens, Zach Fisher, and Big O Nanoyan? I don't know how to pronounce names, to be honest, so I do apologise. And they brought in picks 2. They have 2, 3, 15, 17, 18, 57, and 82. So they can bring in some really good young talent, and maybe in the next 5 years they could contend for a premiership. Who knows? So hopefully it won't be too of a long rebuild. Alright. So we got Port Adelaide. I'm going to put them up top. I'm going to put them in A. Why not? Because they have brought in a few great players. So they've got Asava Radicalier, who will be in massive down with Aliir down in the back line. They brought in a ruckman, Ivan Solido from Richmond. That's a quality. He was a quality ruck at Richmond. So maybe, just maybe, that is it for Scott Lycett. Or he could consider retirement or going to another opportunity somewhere else. Now they brought in also Jordan Sweet from Bulldogs and Brandon Zerk Thatcher from Essendon. And who left was Xavier Dersma. And yeah, I think we really finessed Port Adelaide in a way, because now they just have 1 pick, which is pick 73. So they've got to wait 72 goes until they get their pick, or 73 I should say. So now Richmond, who arrived, Jacob Kosicki, and who left was Ivan Soldo and Big O Nguyen. Now Richmond, I will be saying I reckon they've got a young key forward now, since obviously Jack Riewoldt retired And Tom Lynch will be coming back after his injury, and I reckon that's decent. They got in Jacob Krzyzewski, and now draft picks 29, 41, 65, 68, and 86. This is going to, I think, a long video. Alright, so St Kilda, they brought in Paddy Dow and Liam Henry. They got rid of Jade Gresham, Nick Caulfield, and Jack Billings. Now, I'm going to have to say B. They did get rid of a couple of gem players, but with the addition of another small forward and Paddy Dowles, who could have some more midfield minutes at St Kilda, that could maybe benefit them. And they had a finals experience this year, which I haven't done in like 12, 13 years, something like that. So, actually no, 2020 they did make finals. I always forgot that year. But I feel like, who knows, maybe they could go to the second or third week of the finals next year. Who knows? So 2023 draft picks are 13, 21, 40, and 92. Hey, stop! For Sydney. Now, I'm going to have to put them in I'm going to have to put them in S tier, man. They brought in James Jordan, who's a good winger. Brought in Brodie Grundy, fresh start. And especially with Tom Hickey retiring, they brought in a quality ruckman. Joel Hamling could be another backman for them, since, Paddy McCartan has retired due to concussion, and they've also brought in Pies, Taylor Adams. They got rid of Dylan Stevens, who is a bit of a depth for them. Played a few decent games this year. I think he played a couple games, I can't remember. So they brought in picks 12, 45, 55, and 91 they've got. So decent. And so West Coast now, I'm going to have to probably say C. They brought in Tyler Brockman and Matthew Flynn. They got rid of nobody, and they've got draft picks 1, 23, 37, 58, and 81. Now, will they go after Harley Reid, or will they try and get a couple of picks for maybe a couple more WA players? So, there's a couple of questions, and Harley Reid is wanting to go anywhere. He doesn't care, so maybe he could be a 15-year to 20-year Eagles player, or maybe he would want to come home after a few years. Who knows? It's a big question mark, and I think maybe the AFL want him to go north. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, right, the NBA's on. I also brought my Ben Simmons shirt. I'm a Laker fan, but I support all the Aussies in the NBA. Anyways, this is football. Alright, so we've got James Holmes, Nick Caulfield to the Bulldogs, and Jordan Sweet did leave. I'd say a decent loss for them, but they did bring in some experienced players. So, I'm going to say definitely not A. I'm going to say B. And they've got draft picks 5, 48, 50, 52, 53, 56, 69, 72, and 75, and 90. So, they did trade a couple of picks with Gold Coast. And so, they've also got parted away a future 4th rounder. So, yeah. There is my rankings for the trade period. I can't even speak English anymore. It's a joke. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed a 20-minute video. I don't even think people watch 50 seconds of it. But if you have watched the whole thing, and I do appreciate it, I'll be doing in some cricket career mode, which is going to be interesting. And yeah, so if you're here till the end, how many people are here right now? Anyways, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and peace.